Happy New Year's, everybody! First of all, I hope you all had a great Christmas and aren't too exhausted or hungover from New Year's. I had a pretty quiet one for Christmas and spent New Year's just playing card games with some friends as we ushered in the new year and said goodbye to 2024. And what a crazy year 2024 was. 22 videos might be a new best for me. I'm really hoping to push out more videos each passing year as I get better at handling things like editing, but at the same time I never want to feel like I'm just, shoveling out content that I'm not proud of. I've got a pretty long list of games and stuff I want to cover, but I usually like having a kind of script flow before I jump into it. Coincidentally, I finally finished filming all of the Resident Evil 1 remake. I'm just struggling to find a location suitable for doing my live-action skits and such for it. But just know, it is coming, and I want it to be the biggest project that I've made to date. A goal I've had since I got back into YouTube was to make a full series of playthroughs of all of the mainline Resident Evil entries, but with my own spin on things, because I kind of find most, standard Let's Plays a little boring. And Resident Evil 1's 2002 remake was such a monumental game for me that I really want to make sure that I do it justice. Also on the topic of future plans, we're officially getting Zootopia 2 in 2025. So, like I said in my video on the first movie, I'm gonna try and work together with some people to organize renting a cinema for it. And this time, I'll actually be able to film all of the fun along the way. Well, except for the movie itself, because that'd be illegal. So, if you're in New Zealand, or are just insane enough to get on a plane to watch an animated movie with me and a bunch of fursuiters, keep an eye open. As soon as we get a release date, I'm gonna start putting Operation Fluffy Occupation into motion. And on the topic of movies, I recently got to check out the Sonic 3 movie. Actually, twice now. I wanted to get my thoughts on this movie out instantly, but I also really wanted to finish my web fishing video just before Christmas, so that kinda ended up taking priority. But I gotta say, while this isn't really like a channel where I yap about movies, this is a channel where I yap about Sonic. And this film is definitely my favorite of the three so far, and it's clearly been a massive hit, given they greenlit Sonic 4 in a matter of days after it dropped. So, definitely looking forward to seeing more Sonic on the big screen soon. Well, soon with air quotes, of course. Jim Carrey definitely stole the show, as you'd kinda expect from him at this point, but in terms of script, it felt like the best of the series so far. No middling moments like the wedding scene from the second movie, the human characters didn't overstay their welcome, it was a fun time. Hearing Keanu voice Shadow was good. I love the actor and the other films he's been in, like The Matrix and John Wick, though I did find his take on Shadow to be a little subdued. Still leagues better than the overwhelmingly hammy boom Shadow voice though, so
Your shoddy craftsmanship brings shame on all hedgehog kind, and for that you shall perish.
I was kind of holding out hope for that line from the game, the I promise you revenge. But I had to settle for
revenge guac.
So, life's all about compromise, right? Though getting to hear the leitmotif of Live and Learn in the movie's third act was such a perfect hit of nostalgia, my body was not prepared for it. I was physically punched back 23 years to when the game dropped.
I absolve you of your sin. No! You have been forgiven.
10 out of 10, no notes, absolute cinema. Though with 2024's highs, I did have a couple of lows. I don't really like talking about anything too negative here on the channel. Everybody has enough of that in their own lives, and should be coming to videos like mine to just enjoy themselves and have some laughs. But, I got made redundant from my job back in June, and as such, have kind of been struggling a little with costs and the like. Curse this crippling addiction to food, am I right? So, I've decided to create a Patreon, though I want to say right away, I don't believe in paywalling anything, so no need to worry about anything like that. I also hate feeling like I'm begging or annoying people, so while there will be a link in my video descriptions, I'm gonna keep its existence pretty on the down low. Essentially, it'll be just like having a glorified tip jar, as a friend would put it. Where if you like what I do and you're completely insane, you can throw a little money my way. I'll probably have people's names in the end of my videos, and might even do some polls for future video ideas, but like, nothing that anyone will miss out on if they can't or don't want to be a part of it. Anyway, moving on. So, what's next for the channel? I hear you ask from the warmth of your drywalls. Well, I've gotten a ton of great games to work through and cover still. From the aforementioned Resident Evil 1 remake, to Sonic Adventure 2, Silent Hill, Payday 2, Obscure 2, Helldivers 2, Final Fantasy 7, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Shadow Generations. There's a lot of 2s in there, isn't there? As well as some absolute indie bangers that I'm excited to get stuck into, like Shipwrecked 64, K's and the Wild Masks, Churn Vector, Fear and Hunger and its sequel, Fur Quest,
and Pseudo Regalia.
A fun mix of the kind of games I sink way too much time into. You can expect more convention videos for things like FurCons and Armageddon as well, though hopefully I can find some other fun places to show off as well. Overload is an anime convention here in Aotearoa, but I've never actually attended one just yet. I'm always kind of scared I'll show up and be met by the weeb police because I kind of, wore the wrong attire. But like, I like anime too, guys! I've also been toying around with making more story time style videos. I've done a couple in the past, like the Zootopia video and talking about trading cards, but I always wonder if you guys find them as much fun as the gaming focused videos. I've got a lot of crazy stories from my extra roles in movies like Lord of the Rings, to the nightmares of working my first job at a video store. And then there are the hobby videos. I've been a little quiet on this front in 2024, but I really would like to wax poetic and go more in depth on topics like Magic the Gathering and Warhammer 40k. I've actually had a big 40k project I started in late 2023, but I've just been struggling to find the time to finish the whole thing. And I'd much rather show you the whole thing in its completed state than a shelf of gray miniatures. Hell, I've been sitting on this box of Sonic TCG cards for almost a year now, and I still want to talk about them with everyone. Basically, if I can talk about it from anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour, I've probably already added it to my ongoing list of stuff to make. I just really gotta get faster at editing is all. So, with all of that said, I better get my ass back to making videos. Thank you everyone again for watching. I intend on making 2025 the best year yet for this channel, and I really look forward to seeing you all there with me. But, until next time, take care of yourselves.